So I started training with Pat. He was gonna put me in a smoker fight. Again, like Faith would have it. He was also a musician. Then his band got, I think they were asked to tour with some very very famous band. So he left. Like, well, shit. Who am I gonna train with now? And I think like a month passed. Nothing. Oh, like actually go back a little bit. So when he was fighting, he had like their fight posters in the garage, and I was kind of looking at it. I was like, oh shit, that's an Armenian last name. It said Edmund Tarverdian. I'm like, who's this guy? He's like, oh, we call him the Wonder Boy. I'm like,
Wonder
why?
Boy.
Yeah, I'm like, why? He's like, oh, he does all those crazy spinning kicks and knocks people out with spinning kicks and spinning backhands. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. But I had no idea who Edmund was. I just saw him on a poster just one time. He was like 110 pounds, a little skinny guy. So yeah, again, I stopped training for 2 months. My grandma calls me. Was like, hey, I need to take a package to Glendale to send a package to Armenia. Can you take me? I'm like, sure. So I go pick her up. We're going into this little little alleyway to drop off her package. I'm going in. I see like posters and this and that, and I'm like, oh shit, that's that Edmund guy. I saw a poster with that same poster. So come to have it, it's Edmund's gym.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, Edmund had a little 600 square foot tiny gym. It's called Ed's Karate.
Ed's Karate.
Yeah, his space was so small in that shopping complex that he had the smallest sign, so you couldn't even write Edmund's Karate. It was like his sign was just enough to write Ed's Karate. So I took the number down. I called him a couple of days later. I'm like, hey, I want to do Muay Thai. I saw you guys do Muay Thai. He was like, yeah, we do Muay Thai. I'm like, cool. I go and it's Edmund maybe and he had just started the gym.
Wow.
It was I think his coach left the gym to him and moved to North Hollywood.
That's right.
And he took over. I think there's maybe 20 of us in there max. And I'm like, why is everybody wearing karate uniforms? I came from Muay Thai. I was like, yeah, we do Muay Thai, karate. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I found a place. So I started training, paying my dues. And I started training. And then, but I was craving that Muay Thai, so I'm like, man, I want to do Muay Thai. It's like, I think there's a smoker fight. Do you want to fight? I'm like, yeah. 4 months into training or whatever, I was like Crew Rex's gym, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
So he took me to fight 4 months after training, and back then those smokers were 40 fights. Or they would start 6 o'clock at the latest, and they would go on to past midnight.
Yeah.
So my first fight, it was there's no weight classes. You look like you're about 140. You look like you're about 145. Yeah. You guys should fight.
Yeah.
My first opponent, they matched me up, was versus Bobby Gamboa, who was at the time was the King of the Cage MMA champion.
Yeah.
The guy was a pro, and I'm doing a smoker fight. I'm like, this guy looks pretty serious. And again, Bobby Gamboa was training with Colin Oyama. When they used to, roll up back then, it was even the smoker fights, they used to roll up with Rampage, Tito, Rob. I'm like, and it's just me and Edmund standing there, and you got the entire, Team Punishment, Team Oyama team. We're like, oh, okay, this is going to be a long night. So I think it was 1:30 a.m. Me and Bobby were the last fight. We finally got in there. We kind of threw down. I think he hit me a bunch of times. I hit him a bunch of times. And then Bobby forgot that it was Muay Thai. He's just literally pulled a German suplex on me. I think my back still hurts from back then, but that was kind of how we started to work with Edmund. And I was 20, he was 18.
Wow.
We just continued to work, and I was like, man, we should do more Muay Thai. So we started doing more Muay Thai classes. More people came in, and then I was like, this is fun, but I gotta learn how to do Muay Thai. I'm like, I'm out. I was working at Universal Pictures back then. I asked for 2 weeks off. They're like, no, you can't go. It was a Friday. I packed my bags and just flew to Thailand, lost my job. Stayed there for a month, trained. They took me to a best friend bar fight, got my ass beat. But it was the introduction to real Muay Thai. Going to Lumpini Stadium and Tempest Stadium, Ratchadamna.
Kevin's going to Thailand this weekend.
Oh, yeah. You're gonna have a great time. You're going with Andy or just
with the student here at the gym?
Okay. Yeah, it's an amazing time. I've been there 7, 8 times, but just coming back, it was so different. Where
Yeah.
like now I know Muay Thai. I've seen it.
The culture and
Yeah,
just how it works.
I
Yeah.
loved it. It was a great time. And then I came back, fought a bunch of times for Wood. I was like, man, like I'm kind of old for this. Like kids are retiring at 17. I'm starting at 21. So I think I did that for
No, but they had, I mean, if they had pro fighters, right? Because that was a big
here,
step,
yes,
right?
yeah. But it was, like I had a job. Like I was like,
Right.
like to really become good at Muay Thai back
Fully
then. 'Cause
committed.
there's a lot of fanatics that they were doing it. They didn't care. They would go sleep at the gym. I'm like, man, I have a full-time job. Like I have my parents. I have a house. I have a mortgage. I'm like, I can't be doing this. It's fun to do it, but the fun's done. Now it's just I want to concentrate on doing some business part of it. And when I was in Thailand training, I met a guy who was at the time the world champion in the WBA in boxing.
Oh, okay.
And I was big into boxing. Like
Yeah.
that was my first passion. I'm like, how come I never heard of this guy? The WBA was the second biggest belt, I think, in all of boxing, right after the WBC. But I've never heard of the guy. So I went back again to visit and just to train. And I met his wife, who was Russian. I'm like, how come I never heard of your husband? She's like, oh, they're kind of hiding him here. He's the champion. The promoter doesn't want to, like ship him off to any other countries because, if he goes over there, they might screw him out of his belt. So he keeps him exclusively in Thailand. He would fight maybe once in Japan with an opponent of choice. But I'm like, dude, there's, like he's the champion at 130. Do you know who the other champions are? You know how much money there is out there? Like Marco Antonio Barrera, Eric Morales, Acelino Freitas. That was like that weight class around that time was the mecca. It was, you couldn't get any bigger than that. Those guys were making millions, and I'm like just curious, how much money is he making? It's like about 20,000. I'm like, no, there's more money out there. So I started talking to him, kind of, convinced him a little bit that the United States is the place to be. Came back. My good friend Art Simonian was signed by a big promoter back then. He was doing really big things, Banner Promotions, Artie Palulo. So I talked to them, like, you guys know this guy? They're like, yeah, we've been trying to get a fight with that guy with Freitas for the past, like, year and a half. His promoter, Songchai, won't let him do anything. Like, how much money is there for him? They threw a number out there. I'm like, wow, that's like 30 times more than he's making.
Damn.